The Miseducation of the Negro, Take 1, Chapter 9. All right, so today I am talking about Chapter 9, Political Education Neglected. In this chapter, which I listened to the audio version and read too, I have to come back to the book to highlight areas that I found really significant in terms of today and what's going on and what has happened to us as Black people. Let's keep rolling here, but I had to find it because I wanted to record as I'm actually highlighting. All right, let's pipe by here. So this is in the second paragraph of chapter 9. Not long ago, a measure was introduced in a certain state legislature to have Constitution of the United States, thus printed in school histories. But when the bill was about to pass, it was killed by someone who made the point that it would never do to have the Negro study the Constitution of the United States. If the Negroes were granted the opportunity to pursue this document, they might learn to contend for the rights therein guaranteed, and no Negro teacher who gave attention to such matters of the government is tolerated in those backward districts. The teachings of government, or the lack of such instructions, then must be made to conform to the policy of, quote, keeping the Negro in his place. I tell you, in reading this book, you can only take so much at a time because you see how this stuff is so true today. It was well understood that if by teaching of history, the white man could be further assured of his superiority, and the Negro could be made to feel that he had always been a failure, and that the subjection of his will to some other race is necessary, the freedom then would still be a slave. If you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. When you determine what a man shall think, then you do not have the concern yourself about what he will do. If you make a man feel that he is inferior, you don't have to compel him to accept an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. If you make a man think that he is justly or outcast, you do not have to order him to the back door. He will go without being told. If there is no back door, his very nature will demand one. All right, this is a really rough draft, but I'm just let that one fly right there. I'm going to just highlight some of these so I can get back to them, that we could see clearly. And I live here in the state of Florida, where our governor really does not want the teaching of Black history. And when we read here in Dr. Carter's book, it's so crystal clear to why they don't want that to happen. Because, again, when you can determine what a man shall think, you do not have to concern yourself about what he will do. So, not understanding the Constitution, not knowing what it's all about, not teaching it, not encouraging people to teach it, has certainly been a hindrance. And tell you, my only fight that I think I have, or my only weapon that I believe that I have, is to vote. Get out to vote, get people to participate in the process. And I hear too often, oh, my vote won't make any difference. I beg to differ. Your vote will make a difference. Collectively, all our votes will make a difference. If we had exercised our vote, we would have not had what we have now in the White House, who is destroying the democracy in the United States. And I believe recently that Ms. Harris is saying that she's going to run again. And I think that it is now the time that we do something different to get our democracy back. Our future generations will pay the cost. Won't you join me? Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments below. I know this is really rough, and I appreciate your endurance if you watched this far. Take care.